Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona, and every single week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education for watching. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition. Make sure to log all your participation, guys. So log these chapter education units. I've been looking at the Power of One, guys, and that chapter education unit column is not full. So remember, once you watch these, make sure to go into the BNI Connect app to log the chapter education unit, because it won't log itself. I know that there's a lot of activity that all of you are doing that just isn't logged. So you want to make sure to log all your activity. One of the things that I always recommend is even time blocking, like 10 to 15 minutes prior to your meeting each week. So that way you can go through your week's activity to log all of the activity that you've completed. So that way you can make sure that it's all getting done. So want to make sure to log. Hashtag log it. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you guys an update that in April, so we're only a couple weeks away from April, which is the start of Member Extravaganza, which is always an exciting time. It's for any of the new members that have joined within the past year, Member Extravaganza is an opportunity for our chapters to grow, and we have a lot of fun with it. So we will have Bingo this year. So each chapter will have a bingo card with some of the top professions that your individual chapter is looking to fill. And so I have sent out a message this week to all of our chapter presidents to collect all of those categories for each of your chapters. So every chapter is going to have their own bingo card, or what we like to call Bingo. And so I'm going to send out all of the details and all the rules on everything once we have all the cards created, but we're going to post them on social media, and we're going to have a lot of cash prizes too. So there's going to be up to $2,700 in cash prizes for this year's Member Extravaganza. Super, super excited to roll it all out for you. But the first step, I'm just collecting information from your presidents first, and then I will disperse the information to everyone. So that way you know the rules and how it's all going to work with the prizes and all of that fun stuff. So we're going to have a lot of fun time. We're going to roll out Bingo, and we are also going to still have the cruise this year. So for a chapter to qualify for any of the members that sponsored new members during Member Extravaganza, if the chapter gets at least 6 new members during Member Extravaganza, which new meaning they're new to BNI, not chapter transfers, not someone coming back into BNI, but brand new people coming into BNI. 6 or more new members. Anyone that sponsored those new members will get their name put into the drawing for the cruise, for the big BNI cruise. And the cruise is later in the year. But Member Extravaganza, it goes from April 1st to May 31st. So for the new members that qualify for that, their applications have to be dated within that time frame. So applications that are submitted before it won't count, guys. And applications submitted after that May 31st date will not count. All that counts is within that 2-month window. Super, super important to keep that in mind, especially as you have some open business days coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year. I'm really excited for something new that we're going to roll out. So BNI South Carolina has done Bingo for several years and have said the members absolutely love it. So that's why we're rolling it out here. So we're going to borrow some ideas from BNI South Carolina and roll it all out to you guys within the next week. So excited. This week, I'm going to touch on some details about the BNI Connect app. So I've been getting a lot of questions about the app. So we're going to do a multi-part series because there's a lot of pieces to the app. I'm not going to cover every single thing today because that would take a really long time. And these videos are super short. So we're going to take a little nugget of information today and then expand on it in these upcoming weeks. So the very first thing that I wanted to give you guys some more information is how to read the BNI Connect app. So on the home screen, you're going to have your chapter information, upcoming speakers, any visitors that are registered. And then in your this week slips, one of the things that I get a lot is that it's a little confusing, and it can be. But with the number of slips, when it has the slips in the home screen, let's just take, for example, CEUs, since you're earning a CEU right now. When you go to log the slip, let's say you did multiple CEUs today, and you're going in to log 3 CEUs. When you click on that plus button to add in the CEU on the home screen, and you go into the slip and you document the 3, when it gets back to the home screen, it'll just say 1 CEU because it's 1 CEU slip that you submitted. Now, if you go in and submit multiple slips, because really, when you go in, you can do 1 slip for 3 CEUs and it will count as 3 CEUs. And you can confirm that it shows 3 CEUs in your slips information. But on that home screen, when it says number of slips, if you do 1 slip for 3 CEUs, it's going to show 1 because it's 1 slip, not the total number of CEUs. So I wanted to just clarify that because what I've been hearing is a lot of people going in and submitting a separate slip for every chapter education unit because it's not documenting it on that home screen, and that's because it shows the number of slips that you submitted, not the number of CEUs. So just wanted to give you guys that clarification. Now also on the home screen, it's going to give you some amazing numbers, which shows you the last 6 months activity, the 12 months, and lifetime within BNI. Now, one of the pieces of that information, you are the only person that can see it, which is really something extra special, and it's because Thank You for Closed Business is confidential, guys. So when it comes to Thank You for Closed Business, you can view your history on that homepage. Now, when it says Thank You for Closed Business received, how that number is tallied is when you specifically submit a Thank You for Closed Business slip for a member for passing you business. Let's say I was thanking Bob for closed business. I'm going to go in and submit my Thank You for Closed Business for $500 to Bob. And Bob is then going to receive the credit for the $500 that he sent. But then as soon as I click submit, it will also document that $500 in my amount received. So the system automatically calculates the Thank You for Closed Business received from the Thank You for Closed Business slips that you're submitting thanking members for the business. So no one can see that number except for you guys. Now, where it becomes even more confusing in the system, when you go into the app, when you click on slips, there's a section for given and received. And now they have fun filters to where you can filter it to view specific types of slips in each of the different areas. Now, under the given, guys, the given column is going to be all things that you submitted along with the one-to-ones, because one-to-ones, when a member submits a one-to-one, it automatically credits both people. So it's not something that you necessarily received, but it's a slip that is part of your activity. So it's going to automatically show in your given column, okay? So when you're looking at received, the only thing that's going to show up under the received column are referrals that you've received from other members. This is a great way to then keep track of all of the referrals that you've received from other members, and so that way you can also check on the statuses of them. And I would also recommend updating the status on the referrals. So when you click on the referral, you'll be able to update the status, whether they've been contacted, not contacted, whether you got the business. Now, if you mark that you got the business, it will then proceed to have you go to the Thank You for Closed Business slip. Now, here's where it's even more confusing. Just to throw in another little curveball. Now, when someone updates a referral, guys, when you update it that you've got the business, where the member is getting a notification is that the referral was updated. They do not see the amount of the Thank You for Closed Business. They're just seeing a notification saying the referral has been updated, that they got the business, which means the referral slip has been updated. Now, it doesn't quite confirm that someone has submitted thank you for closed business though, so we still want to make sure that we're following up with any referrals that we are passing to members to make sure that they're submitting those thank you for closed business totals. But in that received column, guys, you will not see thank you for closed business received in that received, because thank you for closed business is kept confidential. You won't see those slips anywhere. So that's where it can be confusing when you see on the home screen, thank you for closed business received, and you look in your slips and you don't see anything received. It's because it's not documented from that area. It's documented from you personally submitting a thank you for closed business slip, thanking a member for business that you received. So I just want to make sure that everyone was clear on that information. Now, another thing, if you notice that there are slips that have not been processed, I would check with your vice president just to ensure that the PALMS report has been submitted. So there are times, we all have busy lives, we have businesses, all things outside of BNI, and so there is a lag time with the activity being updated in the system. It's always a week behind. Every chapter's activity is submitted through the PALMS report, which the PALMS report automatically closes when your chapter meeting ends. So that day and time is going to be different for each individual chapter. So it's important though, if we start to see trends of activity that is stuck in draft status, that usually means that there's a PALMS report out there that hasn't been fully submitted. And once it is fully submitted, all of that activity will change from draft to completed, and it'll go into the system. Now, if it's in draft status because you submitted it after your last week's meeting, and if it's still before this week's meeting, there's still time because the vice president isn't going to process it until after that week's meeting. So again, there's always a lag time with the activity, which can also be confusing. So when the VPs are doing their thing in the VP report, those numbers are always a week behind, which is why our VPs on the first week of the month, they share everything that happened in the prior month, because after the last meeting of the month ends, that month closes. It doesn't wait for the last day of the month. It's the last meeting of the month. So I know, David, super confusing. But once you get it, it's all good. So just know that the amounts on the home screen are not necessarily, the received on the home screen is not the received in the slips. So it is different as far as what they mean. So just know that when you're looking through your activity in the given, it's everything that you have personally submitted. So this is a great way to check to make sure you've submitted all of your activity. And if you have passed a referral to a member and let's say the referral status isn't updated, it's always a good way to use that as a tool to follow up with the member and ask them how the referral went and to see if they've submitted the thank you for closed business, because it's not always top of mind for members to go in and update the referral status, because it is a newer feature in the BNI Connect app, especially for our members that have been in BNI for a long time. I like to call them seasoned BNI members. It's not a something that has always been there to be able to update. So for the newer members that have all of the updates readily available, it may be really easy for you guys, but I would always create a communication with members when you're passing them the referrals to ensure that the closed business was submitted, because the closed business does not have to be submitted by updating the referral status. It can be submitted through an individual thank you for closed business slip, which again, I sent out the information about what a referral is, right guys? So a referral is a relationship. It's the start of a relationship. And the more thank you for closed business that comes in, it expands that value of the referral. So with a monthly service, it's not a referral every single month. It's a single referral, but ongoing thank you for closed business for every single time you use that member's services. So again, that member isn't going to update that initial referral every single time. They're going to do it the first time, and then it's just thank you for closed business slips ongoing after that. So I hope this clarifies some of the information between the home screen and some of the items that you'll be able to see on the home screen versus what the slips mean and what you can view in the slips and what you can do there. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them my way. Or if you have some additional things that you would love to learn about the BNI Connect app, I'd be happy to share those on my extended versions of all things BNI Connect app on these upcoming Wisdom Wednesday editions. And if you have any other topics or questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I do have an Ask Kristen Anything on the second Monday of the month from 1 to 2 p.m. on Zoom. You can pop in. The event is listed on our BNI Arizona calendar, so feel free to check that out. This month was our first one. I do not record them because it's just anyone can pop in and ask any questions that they want, but feel free to jump in, especially if you've been asking questions, maybe getting different answers from different people and want to know what the real answer is. Feel free to reach out to me and connect on the Ask Kristen Anything. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you there. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. And as always, remember to record one chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.